Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are reviewing a Plat Mercy on console. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps me out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate that. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, all that good stuff. Ah yes, hey Congaboom! Glad I was able to get this going during your lunch break. Okay, so getting people tapped off there. Touch slow to swap. One the Echo, who's a good blue target. Bet Genji's full, and you still have Guardian on cooldown, so I'm not sure what you're doing here swapping to him. The Echo had the better sightline, so you wanted to stay on the Echo, and you wanted to stay on Blue Beam. The only reason to switch to the Genji would have been to use if you were using the Genji to Guardian Angel passed over to here to give yourself cover against this sightline. Which you already mostly have against here, which is where they actually are, but you could have some concern about maybe someone being here and want to be here. So we would have liked to stand Echo there, because Echo is going to be the better poke hero with the better sightline. That's who we would like to boost.
Let's get you back out there.
Genji gets it done. Okay, we're going to get her back up. And that's fine. And now you can go back to damage here. If you think she has a sightline, you can go back to damage. And she might from there. You cap her all the way up. So be it. That's a good one to keep heal on. You're not going to be able to continue to heal because you can't go through that Reinhardt while missing this much health. And she's going to get the Mega. So you just abandoned her. But it was the right idea to swap to heals for a moment. And now turn and get someone else.
Healing stream engaged.
That Anna's full. You need to be damage boosting. Great. Okay, so here you're in a bit of a quandary.
Right beside
We go here, and you have a decision to make. Is this Winston, who's maybe going to get the jump on them, going to do more work? And you could go boost him because he's taking a better position. He's more dangerous to the enemies from this position that he's going into on an angle. Or do you boost these guys who, yeah, Echo's a better boost for you. Genji even is a better boost for you. You, Epic Pen, don't advertise that, man. I might have to spend money on you. What was I saying? So these angles aren't as great. Like, you have to make your decision what's better, and at this moment you'd be like, hey, I'm just going to step forward, put my damage boost on Echo, and that's fine, but this isn't amazing. My Echo isn't up here. My Genji isn't over here. Like, either of those would be preferable to them just running it up mid. So this is one of those things where you have to make the decision of what's going to be better. Winston has no range, so for the second Echo is better, but you follow the Winston? And your answer is going to be no, because he's not as good a target, and while his positioning will be good, it'll also put you in a place where you don't have outs. But you need to be thinking about these, because if this was Genji, I would absolutely follow Genji here rather than take this kind of meh poke down here. Genji's your target. Genji's your target. Genji's your target.
Heilstrahl aktiviert.
Want that focusing beam? No? Why did we not follow her and just drift over here while she's in the sky? Like, she is aggressive. You see this? You see how aggressive she's being? And you could be chilling back here on green. You could be floating down behind green. Either of those are relatively safe, and you have outs, people that you can retreat to. And she's being super aggressive, so we would love to pocket her right now. That would be great.
Damage amplified. Let's get you back out there.
Why are you back here? Your team's taking plenty of space. Like, yes, you have safety back here, but your team has taken plenty of space. You can absolutely get yourself more here to do your boosting. Like, hey, I'm going to damage boost to Genji, I'm going to stop short, I'm going to walk into here, and I'm going to boost Genji or boost Echo. Like, this isn't a hard one. Okay. You see that? So that's the other thing that you have to respond to. I just heard the Doomfist. I don't see the Doomfist, which means the Doomfist, since I can see everyone on my screen except Anna, he's going after Anna. So I want to pivot. And get my yellow beam on Anna immediately. That's one of those things that you want to be able to very quickly respond to, and be like, nope, I'm not going to let you get the second move to finish her off. So, she actually went down to the fist bump too directly there, so you probably weren't going to be in time. Unfortunate. Okay. So we want to make sure we're finding a little bit more in terms of judging the DPS that's being aggressive, or judging the player that's being aggressive that we can boost without putting our life at too much risk, more so than we're doing right now. Right now we're sort of taking passive people. And we want to pay potentially attention to that Doomfist in case he's going to continue to be a problem, to make sure we're ready to respond immediately, or preemptively respond even, to anyone that he's slamming through the air towards, so that we can really make him have a bad day when he can't get any of those eliminations because we're doing the little peeling princess thing.
I'm taking care of you.
Good. Swap to the Genji. Yep. You were right to be in the D.Va when she was up there and the Genji was down, but then you swap to the D.Va when he's back up here like this.
Heroes never die.
Okay. But this should be hard blue beam. Are you just doing this until his blade is out? Okay, but you need to be up there on his blade. Like, being up there on his blade is much more important than being on this, Winston right now? Yeah. Much more important. Get your blue beam on the Genji. Cool. Damage boost. Good. Right idea. Stop short. Oh, but you stopped too short, or rather, you didn't take the step to follow. No problem. Can't. When he's purple, you can't heal him, so you just accept it in blue. In case someone rounds the corner, he's got the extra tiny bit of advantage. Okay, you can't really help Echo over there yet. Now you might have to. You have 2 targets over there, which actually makes that safer for you. So now you are going to Guardian Angel over. And even if you can probably reach your Echo, but rather than take a step, you're going to Guardian Angel towards your Genji, and you're going to swap to the Echo. Oh no, you can reach your Echo directly, even better. And now go. Yep.
I've got you.
Why didn't we go past here?
I'm taking care of you.
So here you are.
I've got you.
I hate Genji's spot. I'm either stopping short right here, or I'm doing my tech, my little hop tech, to go past and ending here, and then continuing a scurry to get myself over to here, where I've got cover. I don't in any way want to be here. Okay. Swap to Echo. Swap to Echo. Back to Genji.
Mercy in Bereitschaftsdienst.
You can choose to stay Echo if you want because of the extra safety that you have. And now Echo. You can be damage boosting. I'm not sure why you'd be. You can look back here, but you should be damage boosting, not healing. It's fine. Get her healed up a bit. No one to her fight, so let her damage. Oh, why are you swapped? Turn. Winston's not in danger. Your Echo might be. It's fine. Create distance. So you've got create distance. Okay. Good. Good old pistol. Who's the best person to deal with Doomfist in this team comp? Clearly the Mercy. She hard counters him. Yes, good old pistol. Actually, like, I don't expect this Doomfist to have a terribly good time. Like, it's actually true. All 3 of these heroes are sort of like Doomfist. What do you think you're doing? Good luck. So, like, all 3 of these heroes just sort of laugh at Doomfist. They don't laugh at him, but Mercy's never going to be in real trouble against Doomfist. Echo's never going to be in real trouble against Doomfist and punishes Doomfist pretty hard. Genji is also unlikely to be in real trouble and can do a good job of preemptively finding him, chipping him, etc. And D.Va also exists to break his combos. Because how Doomfist actually gets eliminations at higher levels is generally hits you with the slam, fist pumps you, uppercuts, fist pumps you, and he's getting the elimination at some point in here. And if he can't hit these fist pumps, these, left clicks, because D.Va DMs those out, because D.Va's marking him, he's not really going to get eliminations unless he goes punch bot. And if he punch bots, he gets too much stuck in all-in territory. And if he does all-in territory, well, then he gets eliminated. And D.Va can also hunt him out early too by going to the high grounds that he would like to roll out from, as well as the Genji, as well as the Echo won't go to them, but she'll threaten them. So I actually am just not too worried about Doomfist in this comp. Like, D.Va will sort of make it her mission because it's generally her mission. Mercy will sort of make it her mission because, hey, it's a hero that she really messes up quite well by proactively peeling against. And Echo and Genji will just sort of be like, "Oh, we're running into you when we're going to these spots that we want anyway. Sure, we'll fight you." So like, it doesn't need to be anyone's job really, because it's sort of like we're all just happy to shred you. Yeah. Okay. This is trouble. You need to drop. You just need to walk your way over here and hover drop so that McCree, so that you can spend a little time here. You can't be here with that McCree there. Okay. Okay, now you can follow because you see your Genji went after him too. And you're going to swap to the Genji because the Genji is more aggressive and you're already close enough to do so. Nope, you're not. Yeah. Why? You see the hog, or you hear the hog, and that's why you're worried? Okay, I'm just not sure that this is where I would have wanted to go, but so be it. Why did you think you could do that? Not a million years. Like, both of their tanks are standing right here. This wasn't gonna work. No. No, no, no. You just keep boosting your team, keep healing your team, keep supporting your team in the hopes that they'll create an opening within the window that you get to get your res off. If they create an opening 4 seconds from now, you might be able to get the res off. 5 seconds from now, you might be able to get the res off. So help them create that opening. But don't just go, we gotta do it, we gotta, have to, etc. Like, if you look at this fight, if you don't get this res off, does your team lose? Not at all. Your Genji is blading. You could be boosting this blade. Your team doesn't necessarily lose. Now, would I necessarily be boosting this blade? Yeah, this one I would actually. But like, there's no need to be here. This fight is perfectly winnable without you getting this res off. So why would I do something that is throwing my life away? And you're 4% from Valk. Like, there's so many reasons not to do this absolute feed of a res right here, unless the odds of getting it off get significantly better. Yeah. Oh, you're not carry on? If Hog weren't stupid jumping, he'd have eliminated you? Oh, because he'd have gotten up to the high ground faster? I think that's probably what you're talking about. Or because his stupid jump let her get away from the initial one shot so that he had to follow up. Okay.
My ultimate is ready. You should be at peak performance levels.
Okay, you're gonna swap to Genji immediately. Great, you can swap to D.Va immediately. Good.
Heroes never die.
I don't love it. You can follow these guys in without the Valk. No, they're on the McCree. Okay, I'll deal. Yeah, I'll deal. It's real.
Damage amplified.
So, has high noon, it's true, but you see how early you're over here? Like... Yeah. Good. Come on. Come on. I know. You want the res. You want the res. I totally get it. I totally get it. It's a brig. She can't hurt you, and you had Valk. So you want to do this from above like you are, but you also wanted to do this more over here. We've got this. We don't care if she hits you with her flail. We care if she hits you with her whip shot or her stun. Those are the two things that are going to mess you up. So air into the bubble. Air so your hitbox is like half in the bubble, half out. 3/4 in the bubble. Whatever the case may be here, if you're going to go for this res. That was gutsy. So here we are. Gutsy is not the right word. You just didn't think about it at the time. Okay, here. You've decided you can't force your way through here, which is correct. You don't have the health to do so. Now I don't expect anyone to get you out, so you pull out your pistol. And even if someone does pull you out, that's great, but you can Guardian Angel to them with your pistol out. That's no problem. So, like, at this point, you should be in I need to swap to pistol mode. Are you going to eliminate her if you swap to your pistol? Not necessarily, but if someone else comes to help, you having chipped her down might be the difference. And it's more likely to help you at this point than being able to blue beam someone who shows up, because no one is going to be here this instant. So we want our pistol because we're stuck, and we're stuck without any outs. Without any outs unless we create them ourselves. So pull out your pistol, shoot her in the head 3 times, and then Guardian Angel past the Genji. Okay, and then you turn, and then you could decide from here, I keep shooting at her with my pistol, or I pull my staff back out and boost her heal, etc. Yeah. I'm not sure why you kept staring at the Genji. Your Guardian just come back up. There were other targets you could have used to continue to get further away, but hey.
LOL. The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Starting over from the beginning. Danke.
My blade is ready to be unleashed.
You should be at peak performance level.
Lifting off.
Let me get you patched up.
Great. It's unfortunate. No! No! Oh my goodness!
Let's get...
So, like, on one hand, having a self-destruct out there is cover, so I can't hate it too much, and you're using the corner, which is cover. On the other hand, like, think about what you just Guardian Angeled into. We're looking at this. There's 4 enemies right here. There's like 4 enemies right here. And you go for this. Oof. Oof. Okay. I don't particularly like this one. I gotta be honest. Like, it's not as wild as it looks, especially if you called it and your ball, like, even if you didn't call it, like, hey, you're using the self-destruct and your team is properly reading the self-destruct as an initiation, so your ball is going in, which is making more space for you, and you're using cover, but, like, ooh, that was a lot of people right on top of the corpse for you to go for this during. But, hey, okay.
Don't let up on them. Let's get you that outfit.
Okay. So why are we on heals rather than boosting our Echo until we can get to our Genji? Like, our beam should have been on our Echo so we could Guardian to her so we could then Guardian to our Genji. Okay. We might have gone down to the Kree if we'd done that, but hey. Risk I'm willing to take. We need to talk more about answering Doomfists.
Where does it hurt?
So here you are, there's that Doomfist. You're healing the low health person, no problem. You see that. Genji at this point is going for punches. We don't care. Less we can do about that. Now we want to know who he's after, though, because even though there's not much we can do about the punch, we can make the rest of his job really difficult by keeping yellow beam on his targets. It's really hard for him if we do that. And we're just slow. We're just slow to get onto Anna here. That's a good spot, sure. Not sure why you want heal. Interesting. Again, Genji's the only target here that you get much from boosting. And that was based on his positioning. It's fine, you didn't need to heal that one. No, no, no.
Heroes never die.
This is a little too much of a Valk to get back into it. You're looking at your ball and going, they're low health. You're thinking, oh, well, the fight's sort of even. But is the fight really sort of even? Like, your team has been pushed back. Your team has been pushed into terrible positioning. They were clearly winning this fight, and your team is on their heels trying to figure out, do we have to back all the way out, or is this here, can we even back all the way out? And yes, you have a reinforcement showing up in the form of Echo, but this isn't amazing, because instead of being able to be like, hey, we're on top of them, we fight them, we blue beam them. Hey, I'm the one who posted this code for this game on Reddit. She's a good friend of mine and plays with me a lot. We watched a lot of your videos for Mercy and she learned a lot from you. Excellent, excellent. I'm happy to hear it. I'm happy to hear that. Cool. If you have any questions, let me know. Or if she has any questions that maybe come through you, let me know. Either way. When I do play with her as McCree, I know she heals and damage boosts a lot, but I feel like the timing sometimes is off. Yeah, and that tends to be the thing. So what you're looking for, and I could see in the post, it was a what is the timing for boost supposed to look like? And the timing for boost really is relevant to what is the positions. You have to read your DPS players better effectively than the rank that the DPS players are at. In terms of you have to read their positioning to know how effective they're going to be in the next couple seconds. Like if the other team is holding here and your team is here and Genji is up here, Genji is about to be effective because Genji has a nice good angle. If Echo is up over here, Echo's probably going to be effective. Going to be mildly effective, moderately effective. If Echo is here with focusing beam going, Echo's being super effective almost certainly, so we want to get on that and blue beam it. On the other hand, if Genji is standing here or Echo is standing here, I'll boost it if there's nothing better to do, but I'm looking for when they're in good aggressive positions. If I have a McCree right here, that's something I'd want to be boosting. A Soldier right here, that's something I'd want to be boosting. Soldier McCree here, sure, if it's there, but it's not like, it's not going to be as powerful as someone who's here, someone who's here, someone who's here. You want to find the combination of how can I get my damage boost on someone when they're going to be effective? And that is heavily based on their positioning. It's also based on timing. It's also based on what the status of the rest of your team is. And you also have to factor into your decision how much safety you get. Like if Genji is over here behind the opponents, or Tracer is over here behind the opponents, they might do a lot of work, but you can't reasonably go with them because even though they'll do more work than they would from, say, here, it's too dangerous to you. On the other hand, if Echo goes in pretty deep, but you can follow her in the sky, you're a little safer to do that. If Genji wants to play from here, with this high ground, with a great aggressive angle, that you can help. So you have to read when they're in good positions to do their work. Oh, you have a Doomfist that's walking up here? You can read that he's about to go hit a slam from up there, so you go, oh, let me go join this, blue beam this. Sure enough, he hits his slam, and maybe my blue beam only sticks to him as he hits his slam, and then I swap it back to my Winston, who's down here zapping forward type thing. Like, you have to read when they're going to be effective, when they've taken good positions, is the answer to that. When they have good cooldowns available. Like a Genji with dash is more interesting than a Genji without. An Echo with stickies is more interesting than an Echo without. An Echo with focusing beam is more interesting than an Echo without. And this is the Valk, so like, we want to use Velk more as an offensive ult than a recovery ult, and this, unfortunately, while it's not a terrible Velk, it's erring a little bit on the recovery side because our team has sort of been pushed back onto their heels, pinned against a wall a little bit, and we could turn it with this Velk and win. I'm not actually sure that we won't, but this isn't what we're looking for with our Velk because this is sort of locking us into healing with this Velk for the first, 4 seconds of it, 3 seconds of it. There's just no chance that we're not going to heal with this Valk unless we see our Genji's just about to hit something amazing because this ball is so weak and we've only got 3 people over here that we're working with. Yes, I know Echo's behind us. So, we would like the early portion of our Valk especially to be Blue Beam because that's when it's going to get the most effect. That's when it's going to get the most power. That's when we're going to have the most room to do so if we did it near the beginning of the fight when our team is basically at full health. Here, we're later in the fight, which doesn't mean we can't do it, but we're later in the fight with our team on their heels as opposed to our team sort of in. Our team is sort of in by nature of the fact that the opposing team is in on us, but again, we're going to have to spend an early part of it healing, and an ult that is like I heal 3 people for 60 health per second, that's not a great ult. That's like throwing an Ananade. That's pretty good. Ananade's a pretty good ability, don't get me wrong. But for an ult, a healing Ananade, not a purple Ananade. For an ult, that's a little lackluster. It's really the chain damage boost that is the good part, and we're not going to be able to do that very much because we're so worried about our ball right now. I don't want to be over here. I don't know why we'd be over here at all. Again, I want to be helping the people who can get aggressive. Over here, Ball needed health more, but also Ball's getting aggressive. Ball's really a better choice for blue or yellow beam than Genji is for blue beam right now, because Ball's getting aggressive. And I can easily stick on Ball. I can just play this corner. I can fly right here and go, hey, beam's on Ball. And just go like this to keep my beam on him because my beam will stick even if the ball's left my line of sight for a good 1.3 seconds. Okay. Damage boost here. Why are you healing? Those people are fine. Damage boost them. Damage boost them. Damage boost them, please. Oof, we were healing during the pin, not damage boosting. But why? But why? That Reinhardt would be at like 60 health if we'd been damage boosting.
Where does it
Okay. Totally fine to heal.
Your support
No, follow him up. So again, this is a recognizing positioning thing. Your Echo is here, and this is okay. Don't get me wrong. And maybe you're going, hey, I need to stay here so that I can heal the Echo who's about to take damage. But really, I would have preferred to be on this Genji, because this Genji both is missing health that needs your healing for probably another 30% or so, and this Genji is in a position to do more damage. So if I'm trying to actually win the fight, I'm trying to get good damage boost value, my Genji's in a better position to do damage right now than my Echo. And this is the sort of thing that you need to recognize. You go, I'm here. I actually do want to heal my Genji a little bit more. Then once I get him up to 60, 70%, I'll damage boost him because he's in a good spot. It puts me in a relatively safe spot from this Coalescence. Not as safe as the spot I'm in, but a relatively safe spot, while giving me the ability to, after I've healed Genji up a bit, damage boost him or move my beam back to Echo quite easily from up here to peel for her in case the Coalescence is giving her too much trouble because she doesn't have flight. So I definitely want to be there. And I am. And I'm not sure why we dropped our beam off Genji at all there. But that was probably more healing than we needed. We could have just healed him up to like 70% and then swapped to boost, but then I'd have wanted to check on our Echo because this beam is potentially a problem, and I might go, oh, I need to heal my Echo. And sure enough, right now, I'd cave and heal the Echo right now. I would recommend that. But you're not even looking, so we can't. I definitely wouldn't be healing the full health Genji. I wouldn't have healed the Genji to full health. Careful. Careful. What are you doing? Oh boy. Is there a reason we didn't do that with our blaster out? Okay, you can damage boost her. Good. You can heal him because you've got nothing better to do. Good. Okay. Now you boost to the Diva
Right
while you've got this
beside
guy. Yep. And now you just stay on the Genji. Your only way out of this fight is to stay on the Genji. And you lose. Excuse me, those are your stickies. You don't necessarily lose. Yeah, you lose. After watching this, does this mean the timing of damage boosting were off a lot sometimes when I played with her because of simply not recognizing positioning? After watching this, does this mean the timing of damage boosting were off a lot sometimes when I played with her because of simply not recognizing positioning? I don't know if that's the only thing that's going on, and I don't know that it's off by a lot, but being off by a little on Mercy, like, we want to keep making it better. What rank is this? This is Plat console. No, I wouldn't say her damage boost timings are off by a lot, but there's room for improvement, certainly. Like, we saw that Valk, hey, that Valk sort of put us in a position where we had to heal through most of it. There's been times when we're overhealing before swapping to damage boost, and we're not always recognizing that Genji is being the most aggressive person right now, or Echo is being the most aggressive person right now, and they should be getting our damage boost unless someone else is really in a situation where they need triage healing, like our Echo was back there during the Coalescence. So some of that, yeah, I wouldn't say it's like mega off, but there's definitely room to improvement, and small adjustments can make a pretty big cascading difference.
Damage boost engaged.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You needed a doctor?
Sure. So Genji's more aggressive than your Echo right now. So unless your Echo suddenly uses Flight, you'd be boosting Genji. Because Genji looks to me, and you have to guesstimate this a little bit, it looks to me like Genji is going to have a more aggressive angle sooner than your Echo. If your Echo just uses Flight, that might change, but it looks to me like Genji's going to have a more aggressive angle up here sooner than your Echo is going to have an angle that she can really do damage from. So I would generally say, hey, get on your Echo right here. Or get on your Genji right here. Yep, Genji's suddenly in a spot. She's shooting, but either way, I'd boost one and look at the other. So again, you look at this and go, your Genji up here is in a more aggressive position, sure enough could have used it, than your Echo back here. Your Echo can do a little damage from here, but this is relatively passive compared to what your Genji is doing. And we can boost our Genji, while slow falling back here, which is pretty safe for us, or while having rocket shot ourselves up above him, which has safety in a different way. So we have options to relatively safely enable our Genji, who's playing more aggressive. Or we can take the third option, which is we're just not going to let this Doomfist get value. That said, he's punching in. That we can't do anything about. But this we can. We look at him to figure out which target he's going to go after. And then, right before he hits that ability, we heal bleed them. It's that simple. Okay. He can't win. No problem.
Heroes never die.
Now Echo's being more aggressive, so we boost that. This is a good Valk. Okay, can we get some damage? They're all full health except the person you're not on. Get damage. Okay. No, I don't need to boost just my Genji. My Genji's nowhere close to Blade. I would like to get my Genji. My Genji might seem aggressive just because he's in the middle of the enemy team, but I can get chain effect back here, or I can check on my Ana and potentially save her. So, this Doomfist is still on our priority list of things to answer. So this is, even though this Genji is super aggressive, if I didn't have Valk going, but I could somehow reach this, maybe I would. But because I do, I want the chain over here. This is going to be pretty aggressive too, plus one of these is an ult that I can boost, which means she'll get blizzards even faster. Or I could look at this and go, oh, say, let me save them from Doomfist. One person beam is not my favorite when I have Valk going. Yeah.
Overtime. Enemy radar contact.
Back in the fight.
I'm on fire! My ultimate is charging.
Maybe. Are we going to make it? Owie.
Get into position.
Okay, so the things that are most important for you to work on based on what we've seen so far, and we're going to continue through the rest of the match here. Can I have my players back?
Initiate. Ready for battle.
Things that I most want you to work on. I'm going to want you to recognizing your blue beam timing. You're trying to get blue beam off, and that's good, but I'm going to want you to pay a little bit more attention to specifically how aggressive your DPS, specifically to your DPS players' positionings. Really, I want you to pay attention to your whole teams and the opponent's team's positionings, but I want you to start recognizing where will the specific DPS I'm working with be positioned if they're going to do good work. And Genji, it'll sort of be like, oh, he's got some high ground angle that he's doing something. Or Echo, it'll be, oh, she's flying over them. And I also want you to think about the cooldowns that them having or not having does to change your priority of, does he have dash? Does she have stickies? Does she have focusing beam? Like, what is the status of these and what positioning are they in? Because the better their positioning is, not just like, oh, I'm in the enemy team, but like, hey, if your team is fighting here and your Genji is over here, this is pretty good. If your Echo is over here, this is pretty good. If your Echo is back here shooting from where her team is shooting with the cart, that's less good. You'll boost it over anyone else sitting at the cart because she simply has the best poke, but that's less good. You expect her to get less done than if she's flying up over here doing work, or flying up over here with focusing beam doing work, or then if your Genji is over here putting shurikens in. So like I want you to recognize those and be looking for, can I with some degree of safety pocket those things that are more aggressive, and can I look for when my DPS are specifically doing those things, because that will help you. The second thing that I want you to work on is I want you to get your reses under control, because you go for some dangerous reses. And dangerous reses have their place. It's not like you should never go for reses that are dangerous, but when it comes to dangerous reses, you have to understand, okay, do we actually need this res? I don't want to go for a res that's going to have a high chance of me losing my life if we're winning the fight without that res. Like, I definitely don't want to do that. Like, even if it's in a situation where it's like, hey, it's 5v5, and I could get this res and make it 6v5, that's great. But, like, if the res has as good a chance of getting you eliminated as it does getting the res back, we probably don't want that res. Right? Like, we're okay in the 5v5. Now, if we're in a situation where it's like 4v5, we might feel, oh, I probably have to get that res. Now, that might change because you might go, nope, my Genji has Blade, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to damage boost that instead, or I'm going to Valk damage boost that instead. Like, that might be a thing. But, like, this, I'm more going to be more forgiving if you go for the res in this situation, where we probably just lose if I don't hit the res, assuming he doesn't have Blade, than I am if you go for these reses in situations where the fight is fine. Like, it's a 5v5, or even it's a 5v4. You don't need the res. Like, if you see the res, if the res has some safety to it, sure, that's fine, but you don't need to go for the res when it's just in the middle of the enemy team, and you have a couple of those. One was particularly bad over here, where it's just right in front of the tanks. It's better to go, I'm going to keep doing stuff and see if I can create a way for the situation to change that'll allow me to get the res off, rather than to just go for the res when it's such a high probability that you're just going to get eliminated. And that one was. And some of the others were better, but not amazingly better. And not strictly necessary either.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Statistically speaking, I usually get most of my team back alive, but who's counting?
Lifting off.
After this VOD is over, could you go over what the weaknesses of Mercy are, please? And what is the to-do for homework to improve? Yeah, I'll go over the homework to improve. I potentially just did, that we'll see as the rest of the match goes over here. In terms of the weaknesses of Mercy, she doesn't work very well when she's in a brawl comp, because she doesn't work very well when she doesn't have targets that she can that she can Guardian Angel to that are at good angles. So, like, she's not particularly happy if she's playing with, like, Rhine, Zarya, Reaper, Mei, she's not particularly happy in those situations because, well, as these comps get more advanced, they'll still do some level of angle control. They're not going to spread out in the same way. They're not going to give her the same level of options that she would get with a poke comp, which would be her favorite, or a dive comp, which will at least will give her lots of space to move around to. So her weakness really is when her team is playing tight, playing in that death ball style, playing in a brawly way, playing something resembling a rush comp, where it's like, I don't really have anywhere to go, and my team doesn't have like nice aggressive angles for me to go enable from. So that's going to be her least favorite, and that's sort of going to be her weakness. Her other weakness is that she doesn't do the greatest job of defending herself if a bunch of flankers show up on her, but that's not really like a particular weakness because she has lots of ways to get out as long as she's being played in a team comp that makes sense for her. Okay. Like, her lack of independence is a weakness. I'm not going to pretend it's not, but it just doesn't matter that much if you're playing her where it makes sense.
2, 1. Chain attackers incoming.
Let's get you back out there.
Stop the payload.
Yeah, you got it. Though that to-do list may change or update depending on what we see here.
Heilstrahl aktiviert.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get you back out there.
So we're here.
1.
I don't know why we're leaving immediately. I don't care. Like, did you see a Winston jumping at you or something? Why are we leaving?
Let's get you back
Your
out
Genji
there.
you were fine up there with Genji. You had Genji that you could damage boost. You had Echo that you could fly to. You had these guys that you could fly to. The option of having these people to flee to is enough. I wasn't too worried about you. I don't want to go up there with blindly, though, because there could be a Widow, like there is. Like, I actually liked you here, where you had this to sit on. Like, yes, Winston could just jump here, and that would be annoying, but then you just take your out.
Enemy radar contact.
Boost your Sigma. Boost your Sigma, that's the best boost from here. Or your BAP. Too far, too far, too far. I don't know why you got that close.
I'm taking care of you.
Circle outside. Why are you not damage boosting the Sigma? You know that your Sigma's fighting. Echo, Echo. Yep. Good. Being on heals there was appropriate. Doomfist is a good person to be healing against, and if you aren't super confident in your weaving, you can just full heal against him because he really is he spends his whole kit and then he's like, now what do I do? Type thing. So you can go, well, I'll just help my teammate weather through it. I'll heal them through it until your kit is spent. So you don't need to worry too much about weaving against just him. If you're super confident, you can, but fine. Works for me. Look around, where's your out? Even if you're going to stay in and help out your Hog and your Genji, that's totally fine, but I want you looking around. Did you know that your Sigma was right there and that you could look at your Sigma at any point and Guardian Angel out to him if things got too hot here, if the Winston jumped on you? I don't think you did. I think you were trying to retreat this way because when you were deciding to stay here, you didn't go figure out where's my out going to be if I get into trouble. You do want to sort of know where you're going to be able to go so that when you do get in trouble, you already know where you can turn and go to as opposed to, let me go out like this.
Get in here! Over here!
You should be at heroes never die.
Okay. Like, it's not K, but I'm belly aching.
You should be at peak
So
performance.
here we are. We look at this and we go, okay, we have 3 teammates here for this Valk to work on. We have more health than we did on the 3rd point defensive Valk, but we're Valking as our team has sort of already been pushed back a bit. Not when they're first pushing into our team, but as our team has already been pushed back a bit. So these are edging a little bit too close to recovery Valks for my taste.
Heroes never die.
Fortunately, your team has a little more health, so you could go a little more damage heavy, but then you don't. Okay. Yeah. And again, you can see in the first half of your Valk, you did like less than 1 second of damage boost, which probably means it's not the situation we want to be using Valk in. We want our Valk to be very damage boost heavy, especially in the early part of it. And the way to do that is to use your Valk basically more towards the beginning of fights than you are. Because that way people have their full health bars or close to their full health bars, and if they're at 80%, you don't care, you keep damage boosting them. And they'll then stay at full health because they're snowballing an advantage. Like when we're doing more damage than you, so you guys turn and run, or you guys don't do enough to us because we get eliminations quickly, all that.
I'm taking care of you. Much better.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Where does it hurt? Let me get you past. Let's get you
'Kay.
back in the fight.
Sure.
I'm taking care of you.
Yeah, okay.
Your support has arrived.
Assemble. Let's stop.
Where does it hurt?
Sure, she's being aggressive. I don't know why you're on heels. Like, again, if you see Focusing Beam, she's not using her Focusing Beam that great, to be honest. She's not consistently going after low health targets on it. She's popping it early. But in general, someone using Focusing Beam should be a cue to you of, oh, I would like to boost that. That is a high damage move. Assuming it's being used properly.
I'm here.
Okay, do you hear them? Are you going to look at the Kree, or are you just going to... Please look at the Kree. Keep the cart between you and him. Good. Sure.
Let's get you that outfit.
She's got to find position.
Engage.
Now she doesn't.
Inside
So
you.
boost Sigma. Genji's got a good position.
Care of you, Genji.
Fine. You tried. You tried. If this McCree's giving you trouble because he has taken some good off angles a couple times here, you can start just mentally tracking him better. Remember how I told you, like, your first priority list is to sort of start tracking where these two are? And be like, okay, I want to track where these two are because I can tell based on where they are how much damage I expect them to get done, how aggressive their positioning is. And then we added Doomfist, like, okay, you can track him for peeling purposes because you can tell where he's going to roll out from. You can tell who he's going to go on to by where he's going to roll out to, or you can tell when he's going to hit by if he's set up in his rollout position. And that allows you to just hard yellow whoever he goes after right as he goes after them, which makes him very unhappy. And if you're slow, he's going to get them. But if you're not slow, he's going to have a terrible time. Well, then you could start adding to your tracking. Well, now I'm going to start tracking McCree. Not because you're going to punish McCree, but so you understand when can I start going after these two to enable them in good positions versus when can I not? Because when is he taking positions that will punish? Or when do I need to call him out so that my Genji can get on him with my help, that kind of thing. And then, as you can imagine, this eventually builds out to you tracking where all 6 people are at all times, but, you know, you're not there yet. Build it up one at a time.
Group up with me.
So what would she is this player's weakness in general that she should primarily work on? It's I mean, again, what I'm going to say here is work on the things one at a time, and the two things that right now we're on are specifically going to be getting the read of her players, getting the read of her teammates of where they are, how aggressive they're going to be, when they're going to do more damage. Like, that is going to be the thing that I want her to work on first, and then the next thing is going to be the reses. It's possible that I'm going to bump the reses for the Valks because we've seen a couple like that. And as you can see, another thing I'm mentioning here is, hey, we have to track our opponents. We have to start being aware of where they are so that we understand what does that do and not do for taking off the table. But I've just listed 4 things here. I'm not going to give this player 4 things to work on. So this will become probably 2 things by the end, but these are the places that we're seeing holes or weaknesses in the gameplay.
You should be at peak performance levels. Healing stream engaged.
Let them out.
Okay. What? Why were we not doing that?
Powered up.
Okay, this is so be it. Sure. Lost him, no big deal. You're not going to be able to get that res, and you just damage boost this. You have a BAP with a window there. Just damage boost it. Okay. Damage boost the BAP, yep. Not sure why we'd be healing Zarya. Damage boosting BAP still looks much more attractive. Now you can damage boost Zarya if you want. But then once I've got BAP, I'd still prefer that, because BAP will get the nice damage multiplication with that window plus your damage boost. Okay.
Heroes never die.
Sure. But why do we have heal going here?
Heroes never die.
Okay, damage boost. Yeah, cool. We're looking at this. Not sure why we're on heal. Yes, they've answered with trans. I don't care. I don't care. Should still be on damage boost.
Damage boost engaged.
Now we might finally swap to heal, but it would be now we finally swap to heal and we would have been on damage boost for this first third of Valk. Yeah.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Back in the fight. You needed a doctor? I've got you.
Okay. So who's got the best positioning here? And right now it does look like your Genji. This Genji's probably got the most interesting spot right now. Your Zarya's playing effectively main, not at an effective range, doesn't have energy. Your Genji isn't like in an amazing spot, but is on the off angle. So yeah, damage boosting the Genji. Right idea. Except that you're on heals.
You should be at peak performance
Sure.
levels.
Cap off your BAP, that's more important. Your Genji's not doing a ton of work right here. Okay, now your Echo spot is a little better, but it's not going to stay better because she's going to go out of line of sight.
I'm with you.
Great.
Over here.
Mm-hmm.
Enemy contact. Damage and
Swap to Echo.
come off me.
Mm-hmm.
Group up with me.
Healing stream engaged.
She's fine. You can damage boost her. You can also escape to her. Not sure why you're staying on heal so long. This is a bit of a weakness you have. When you're using Guardian Angel, you hard default to heal beam. Like when you're under pressure, you sort of stop thinking and you stop thinking about your beam. You think about how am I going to survive? How am I going to get out? And your brain just sort of defaults to I'm going to be on heal beam until I'm safe. And that's okay. You making yourself safer is more important than you getting the beam right, but we want to extend that to also being able to get our beam right. And even if it's a keep doing what we're doing if we were damage boosting, or if it's a I also have the brain space to get them healed up and then swap, once they're full health even if it's not like, hey, I stop at the perfect 70%, 80%, whatever. It's a once they're full, I swap. Even if it's just that when you're doing it because you can't see how much trouble they're in, but when they're at full, you do it. That's going going to be preferable, because sometimes A, it's just more efficient, but B, sometimes that's going to help get you out of trouble faster, because you're damage boosting them as your guardian angeling out, etc., and that helps get the person off of you that's bothering you. That Echo's aggressive. Help it out. She's still aggressive. Genji, 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 yep. So, like, when you hear that blade come out... We didn't really hear the blade come out. But when you do hear the blade come out, you immediately want to try to get to that. Like, almost always. Even if it puts you in bad positioning, it's frequently going to be worth it. I don't care about healing the duplicate. Boost the Genji. Yeah. It feels like Mercy is a whole lot of micro. She is. Mercy is a lot of micro. And it's because she's making a lot of decisions per moment. And it's also why you'll sometimes hear me tell Mercy players that they just have to play faster. They've gotten used to a pace that is unacceptably slow, and they're going to be limited by it. This one hasn't. Why are you healing? There's plenty of damage boost work to do there. When the Winston jumped in, boosting 5 of them to crush the Winston, no one was in danger when that Winston jumped in. And you could have just been like, nope, by hard damage boost, and this Winston is instantly going to get deleted, and then I won't even have to heal, or I'll be able to heal after he's instantly deleted. Like, you'll have to heal less if you damage boost more in that situation. Not sure why you were so slow to swap to Zarya, who was clearly in health trouble there.
Damage increase.
Amplification matrix ready.
Engaged.
Quite the boost.
Schaden verstärkt. I'm taking care of you.
I don't know that you want to be here. Yeah, so you stayed on heals on that Genji after they were full. Like, you were Guardian Angeling out, so I understand it, but just because you're Guardian Angeling out doesn't mean you can't give him the right beam on your way out. Can you reach Genji? Can you peek to get on Genji? You should have your beam on BAP until then, but can you peek to get a beam on Genji? Too dangerous. Just damage boost BAP.
Damage increase.
Good. I don't want to be here. Separate. Crimson separation. Good. Do it again. Good super jump. Not sure why. Again, though. This Zarya's full health. You see how that Zarya's full health, and as you're doing all of your techs, your brain is just totally focused on your tech, totally focused on your super jump, and only after it's over do you get to boosting. That Zarya was full health the whole time you were setting up this super jump. You like your slow McCree feet better? That's fair. But they're just different skills. With the McCree, you've got to hit your shots. Mercy's a little more forgiving on that.
Heroes never die. Damage and
I don't really like this Valk at all. They're going to push you, but they haven't yet. They're down someone. You can heal that Genji without Valking.
You've got this.
Why are we Valking? Like, are we shouting at our team to go push them? There's still 50 seconds left. The music just tricked you into Valking. And the last Valk wasn't great either, like, with the timing of it. So I have no idea why you're... I mean, I have an idea. It's because the music has confused you. But, like, this match isn't over yet. This isn't, oh, last push, they have to push right now. This isn't 7 seconds left or anything.
Heroes never die.
And your team can do some poke into them, but they can just wait out your Valk and then push after your Valk is over. The opposing team is not at all committed to this fight.
Damage amplified.
Wait, what? You heard the Hog through a hook. Hog just threw his hook, and you actually just heard the grunt of it connecting on someone too. Please turn right and boost your Hog. Unfortunate. Again, damage boost during this. Damage boost. Damage boost. Big multi-person damage boost, please. No. Not enough damage boost on that Valk. Not enough multi-target on that Valk, and the Valk was too early. And now run away, right? I don't care. Okay. So. Okay. So.
Victory.
Here's how this is going to work. First thing I'm going to give you to work on is, because this was specifically asked in the request of, hey, how do I know who to target boost when, is what I talked about a lot in the first round, which is recognizing your DPS's positions and their cooldown statuses, but primarily their positions as a indicator of how much work they're going to do. Even if you have no idea how good they are, what their SR is, if they're having a good day or a bad day, how good their aim is, anything of the sort, the positions that they're in are a huge indicator of how much work they're going to do or not do. So you want to boost them when they get into the right positions. And I'm doing DPS as an example, but this matters for your Hog as well. This could matter for your Winston. This can matter for your Zarya. Like, this can matter for, oh, my Zen's charging up a right click and they've been charging up for a little bit. Okay, it could be the Zen. Like, oh, everyone's full health and I can be in a safe position while boosting my map. Like, boosting everyone matters, but like, we read the positions to determine who and when is going to do work. And that doesn't mean we go in crazy aggressive, though with Genji Blades we sometimes will, but we find someone that is in a nice aggressive position, and I described what these looked like at least significantly for these two heroes, and you build it out. Like I talked about it with hit scan heroes, for example. You build it out. You have to start recognizing what good positioning looks like for them, and when they take that good, more aggressive positioning. They won't hold it forever, but when they take it, can you be there to boost them, or is there something more important you have to do? So that's the first thing I want you to work through. From there, there's a lot of different ways we can go, and I don't want to overwhelm you. So the way I'm actually going to send you... The way I'm actually going to send you is to your Valks. You use Valks two reactively, two defensively, so I don't want you as much to use your Valks when your team gets pushed back and is on their heels. On this part. I don't want you using Valks there. I want you using Valks when your team is on their toes, when your team is springing forward, when your team is taking the engagement, when your team is going forward and the opponent can't surrender space, or if they do surrender space, you get a checkpoint, that type of thing. So we don't want this. We do want this. That's what we're looking for. So we want to use the Valk when our team is getting aggressive, when our team is committing to the push, is committed to the push, and the opponents would have trouble backing up. That's when we want to use Valk. It should be early in the fight. It can even be a little bit before the fight full-on enters the brawl stage. It can be late in the poke phase. But it should sort of be the conversion, or it should within a couple seconds be the conversion from the poke phase to the brawl phase, as we'll call it. So that's what I want out of your Valks. That's going to make a difference. I also want this because your Valks then get to start on blue beam. And I do want your Valks to start on blue beam. If you're Valking and then starting on yellow beam, you're probably Valking at the wrong time. I want your Valks mostly to start on blue beam, and I'd really like the first third or so of your Valk to be just a constant blue beam. After that, you can micro it, but I'd like the first third of your Valk to be a blue beam in most situations. This is not a hard and fast rule. There's times where you break this. There's times when Valking to recover will save a match, but really what you're trying to what you want to be your habit, what you want to be your default Valk is this on the toes Valk that starts with a blue beam, and then after that maybe gets a little flash of yellow, back to some blue for a bit, Maybe a little more yellow. Now we're back on blue. Oh, have to do a little bit more yellow to save it. Okay, now we're on blue. And now that our Valk is over, we cap everyone off with yellow beam individually. That's what we want our Valks more to look like, something like that, because that's going to really get us the most work, the most value, all that stuff. So these are the two things I really want you to work on. If you have questions about either of these, please let me know. You can throw it up in comments right now. If other people have questions that they would like to throw in comments and they're watching this as a video, the best way to catch me live to get your comments, get your questions in here so that I'll answer them is to join my Discord. And in there, you can go to get roles, react to become a watcher, and then you guys will be able to ask your questions of me live, and we can have a little back and forth so I can make sure you understand the answer there. Other than that, if you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps me out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate it. Let's take a look here. Thank you, Temporal. Homework, yay. Any more VODs today? I'll do more VODs today, but right now I have to go do something that will be off VOD. It's coaching work, but it's off VOD. Yeah, and if that's the only question, I do actually have that starting now, so I'm going to jump to do that. No problem, no problem. Glad it helped, Takashi. Okay, thanks guys. Temporal out.